coming out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Peace and blessings, man. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pam, man. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We back again, man. We back at it again. I've been giving y'all these Cellmate editions, and it's crazy that most of my sellers was crazy because, trust me, I had some crazy ones, but I also had some good sellers along the way as well. And this one is a story about a little young dude that came in the cell with me, man. I think he was like 18 or 19 when he came in the cell with me. White boy Cody, man. White boy Cody, family. I'm talking about, he was a good dude, man. He was a good dude. He was young. He was coming in, I think it's from Richmond. He talked like a black guy as well, but he didn't give you that persona like he was faking. That's just what was his culture. That was where he grew up, how he grew up, the people he hung around. Most of the people he hung around was, African American people. So that's the culture that he took to as he was growing up. I remember they put him in the cell with me. I remember when he came in, I'm looking at him like, oh man, this little young buck, But like I say, he turned out to be a cool dude. We got to kicking it. We talked a lot, man. I tried to give him good game. The one thing that threw me off about him, he said he was a blood. He was in a gang. He said he been doing it since he was 11, 12 years old. So I'm like, man, come on, dog. Come on. So I used to, talk to him about it and give him my opinion about it because he was in the cell with me and he asked me. And I used to tell him all the time, man, I just don't see the purpose in it. You locked up. I don't see the purpose in it. And then on top of that, at the time, I don't know a lot about the gangs. So I don't even know that, I ain't never seen a white blood, a white crip or nothing like that. So I don't even know how that go, how that dynamics is. So he was like, I've been doing it, whatever. So at this time, the gangs were starting to, filter in the system more and more anyway. So it was just becoming a gang prison, Virginia. But it's a gang prison now. Trust and believe me. Before I got out, oh yeah, there's gangs everywhere. But at this time, it was just starting. I think we was in. Oh yeah, and shout out to somebody who told me to give y'all these time frames so y'all know what time frame I was talking about. That is a good idea. So salute to you, whoever you are. This was about 2002. About 2002, around 2002, 3, right up in that area. So so the gangs were starting to infiltrate the prisons now. They was making their presence known more and more on each and every institution. So they had little leaders and, head of the gangs, head of this, head of the blood, head of the Crips, head of the GDs, so on and so forth. So they acted like, at the time that he was in the cell with me, they acted like they accepted him. Like, okay, yeah, your credentials is all right. They do background checks on you, whatever. You supposed to have been a blood, on the street. You're a white boy, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? This is what you rep. We accept you. That's how they was acting, Now, I was suspicious of the situation the whole time. And I'm trying to tell him. But I'm thinking they acting like that because he in the cell with me, And if he in the cell with me, I don't care what's going on. Ain't nobody coming up in that cell do no foolishness unless they go through me. That's just how it's going down, So I didn't understand the situation. I used to talk to them about it. They stop at the door sometime, ask for them, tell them to come out. They go, they talk, they gang talk or whatever. Man, this man actually had homework assignments and questionnaires and paperwork to do dealing with his gang affiliation, which was just absurd to me, because I'm like, you could be doing a whole lot of other things and this is what you doing, and I think he had a fresh 22, 23 year sentence under the new law now. So that means he got to do 85% of that. So you do the math and figure that out. That's what he had to do. coming in fresh at 18, 19 years old, never been in prison before, and you're a white boy, so you got a lot to deal with. And, I'm trying to let him know what's going on at the time because I done been locked up a minute, So I'm trying to give him game because he in the cell with me. And like I say, he seemed to be a good dude. He got a good family behind him. His mom, she look out for him. He had a couple of brothers. They was younger than him. I think he the oldest. So I used to just try to keep giving him game, man. I liked him. He was a good dude. He was young. I used to get him. I got him into working out, trying to take care of his body. I used to try to put some philosophy in his head, let him know you got to take care of your body while you in here. You got to be strong. You got to be mentally, physically, spiritually strong to make it through what you got to go through, because you get ready to go on a journey like you never been on before. And I used to try to tell him that, to let him know and try to prepare him. But at the same time, you got the gang forces. He listening to them too. They in his ear, giving them other rules and regulations, some gang stuff. How you gonna have to curb in here while you a gang member? You gonna have to do this. You gonna have to do that. Basically, I used to counter that and let them know, you get ready to be a child again. These your parents. If they're gonna tell you what to do, and they're gonna tell you when to do it and how to do it, and what they tell you may jeopardize your freedom, may jeopardize you getting out here on the time you're supposed to get out here, making you maybe not even be able to get out here at all. Then that's up to you. But if you want to listen to them, that's your choice. But I'm letting you know, to me, if you ask me, that's asinine, man. That's crazy. You got some time to do, and you gonna come here and listen to another man when you already got to listen to these guards. You already got to listen to this administration. You already got rules and regulations upon you every day, and you gonna listen to another dude that's in the same position that you in. To me, I couldn't comprehend that. But when you trying to tell somebody something, you can't force feed them that information. You got to let them get that information on their own. And they're not going to process it no matter how much you give it to them. They're not going to process it until they feel like processing it. And, man, I used to try to just give him that game, man, because I felt like he was a good dude. And I felt like he was just misguided as far as with that gang situation. But all in all, like I say, he was sharp. He was smart. He had a good mind. He had a sharp mind. He said he used to get good grades in school. He had a sharp mind. I liked him, and I used to try to encourage him, in opposed to just trying to put him down or talk dirty to him and let him know, oh, this gang, you and this gang stuff. Woo. I don't use that route, because when you go at somebody like that, you automatically gonna turn them off. They're not gonna want to listen to you because you always coming at them with negative stuff. I didn't dwell that much on the negative because I didn't feel like he needed that. I felt like he needed to know the positive. He needed to know what he could do, what he could do with his life, what he could do with this time that he had in front of him, how he could use it constructively, how he could use it to benefit him. But at the same time, if you deal with this gang stuff, man, it's gonna get you late. I said, I'm letting you know because I've been here. I understand what's going on. He respected me and he listened to me a lot. And I knew it was a little struggle with him in his mind because he wanted to take heed of what I was saying, but he was also taking orders from other people, So it was just a crazy dynamic, man. But I like the dude a lot, man, because he was young and I wanted to protect him, but I wanted to protect him whereas I was giving him game like a big brother. And I think the gang members knew, because by then I already got a reputation. They knew who I was, and they knew I won't play no games whatsoever. So they didn't come at me with no type of foolishness or nothing. They always came at me with respect. They always came at me knowing, that if I say something, I meant what I said. And if you come to that cell, even if you coming for him, just come with some respect. Don't, be coming up in here with that foolishness. I ain't want to hear no gang talk. I ain't want to hear no gang moves, no gang rules. I didn't want to hear none of it because it didn't apply to me. So if y'all want to talk that type of talk, y'all take that somewhere else away from the cell. That was my whole situation with what was going on. So I used to just let them know, man, make the best decision for yourself, but I'm just letting you know what I think. This is just my opinion. But ultimately, you're going to have to make the decision on what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, you know. He listened to me, man, to a certain extent, but at the same time, he listened to them as well. So, you know, at that time, they weren't really getting into a whole lot. They was doing a little bit, them gangs in there. They extorting dudes. They, you know, they got their little... to me, it seemed like they was just beating up each other more and more. Each other. Because they had rules and regulations. If somebody violated, then they get beat up. And, you know, it seemed like they took more beatings amongst themselves than they was putting on other people. So that right there, to me, was alarms that went off in my head. And I try to point those things out to him when they happen so he can see it in real time. But like I said, man, he was so caught up and he was trying to be so loyal, which at some point I respected that about him because he was doing it since he was young. I respected the fact that he was loyal to what he was doing. But you could be loyal to the wrong cause. Understand that now. You can be loyal to the wrong cause. You have to be sure what you putting your loyalty behind and who you putting your loyalty behind. Loyalty is a great quality, but if it's misrepresented or if it's misplaced, then it's useless. It's useless. So I try to make him understand that. But like I say, being that he was of the age that he was, he couldn't understand it. He couldn't comprehend it. It was going to take something drastic to make him understand what was going on. Now, around this time came, he had been in the cell with me now, man, maybe probably about well over a year, maybe a year and some change, man. And I had no problems with him. He always was a good seller. He always, you know what I'm saying, was respectful. He ain't bring no drama to the cell. He respected the cell. I liked him like a little brother, like I said, so I always looked out for him. The people knew, the pod knew that I liked him as a cell partner. So at the same time, it was understood that this is like my little brother. So even if he in a gang or whatever he in, if you have some drama with him, you're going to have some drama with me. So that was an unspoken understanding that they knew because he was my cellie. So they knew I rocked with him because if I didn't rock with him, he wouldn't have been in the cell with me that long. So like I said, that added a whole different dynamic to people dealing with him. So it also may have caused a little confusion because he got so relaxed and he believed that, you know, everything that was going on was, you know, how his whole bit was going to go. You know, people going to respect him just because he a blood or whatever, and ain't nobody going to mess with him and everything going to be all right. His bit going to be like smooth selling. He ain't going to have no whole lot of drama or whatnot. Nah, it don't work like that. Nah, it don't work like that at all, man. And I try to tell him over and over again, but like I say, sometimes things fall on deaf ears. Sometimes you have to learn yourself to really understand what's going on, especially if you walk into a situation. See, he walked into a good situation. I told him off of day one, and he'll tell you, I told him off of day one when he came in the cell with me, after I got a little good feel of him, I said, man, they couldn't put you in a better situation, man. You don't need to be nervous. You don't need to be, you know, scared or nothing. You all right? I know you just starting your sentence and everything. I said, but I've been down a while. You cool, man. They put you in the cell with a good dude. I'm going to look out for you. If there's anything I can help you with, I'm going to help you, bro. So just go ahead on. I know how you feel. I was you one time coming in the cell first when I came into prison, nervous. You know, I can see you nervous. All right, you nervous. I can see you nervous. But I'm just letting you know you cool. You all right. You know, and like I said, he turned out to be all right. And like we got along real well. As time went on, it was like a year and something we was in the cell together. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they get ready to make all these great big renovations. They get ready to make all these moves. So they start moving people around. They coming in there moving, telling people to just pack up, move. We got you going here. We gonna sign you over here. Da. So showers, I don't know what, man. They come to our cell. And I'm the barber, so I ain't moving. I got to cut hair in the part. But what they was doing was they was making this block that I was in into a worker's block. If you didn't have a job either in the kitchen or in the block, they was going to move you. He didn't have a job. I was the part barber, so I got a job. So now they're going to move him. So we try to talk to the supervisor and everything about getting him a job, trying to keep him up here. don't move him, woo, woo, woo. They won't go on for it. They say he ain't got no job. Maybe if the lieutenant, somebody give him a job later on, he might get moved back, but right now we gotta move him. So they move him out the block, move him downstairs in my same building, but downstairs. When you come in the building, you got one block over here, then you got to go up the stairs and you got a block over here, block over here. That's the block we in, upstairs to the left. He ended up moving downstairs to the right. So he's not even in the same block with me. Only time I would ever see him is doing recreation or outside doing going to commissary or in transition, you know, when he on the yard and we going somewhere else. That's the only time I was gonna be able to see him. So, man, I didn't want to move because, like I said, I don't like getting new cellies. Because, as y'all already know, you never know what you might get. The good, the bad, the ugly, or the unbelievable. So, with all that, he was a good cellie, you know. Man, they moved him. And he won't gone probably 2 weeks. It couldn't even been 2 weeks. It was less than 14 days. I'm coming up from rec one day, and I'm sweating. I've been working out. I'm you know, my adrenaline pumping. And as I walk in the block, I see dude sitting at the table and everything, and dude called me over there. And he was like, and when I was coming up the stairs, I was coming up the stairs. I remember coming up the stairs and saw a little blood in the stairway. So I figured somebody got the rumbling down there or whatever may be. I remember seeing little blood drops in the stairway because, you know, you be in tune to that type of stuff as you moving around in prison. So I remember seeing that. So as I get up and I go in the block, I remember the dude calling me over to the table. They were sitting at the table conversating about 2 or 3 dudes. And he said, "What's up, man?" I said, "What's up?" So he said, "Man, that's crazy, ain't it, man?" I said, what you talking about?" He said, "It's crazy, man, with Cody." I said, "What you talking about?" He said, "You know, what happened to Cody?" I said, "What happened to Cody?" He said, "Man, you know, the dude's supposed to have jumped him down in the stairway and stuff." I said, "Who?" So he says, I think it was the blood dudes. I said, "The blood dudes?" He was like, "Yeah, man, I think they jumped him in the stairway or something." Somebody said he got stabbed up. Man, I was in a fit of rage. You heard me? I was like, "What?" He was like, I said, man, I went straight to the booth. I was like, "Open the side door, miss. I think I dropped my ID on the stairway." She was like, "What?" I said, "I dropped my ID on the stairway. I'm trying to get it for somebody to get it." I go out there in the stairway and I just jet down to their building. I go downstairs and go right to their block. And I bang it on the side door trying to get somebody's attention so they could see me. So I remember seeing my homeboy Spider in there. So I waved him down. I was trying to wave him down. The lady in the booth wouldn't let me in because she know I don't belong in there. So I'm trying to wave Spider down. He run over there. He see me. So it's a little crack. I'm hollering through the crack. I said, "Man, what's up with Cody?" He said, man, I think he messed up." I said, "Where he at?" He said, "He up in the cell, man, but he bleeding and stuff. I think they get ready to come get him." I said, "Who?" He said, "The police, man." I said, "What happened, though?" He said, "Man, I don't know." I say, "Ask him what happened." I say, "Tell him to tell you who did it. Tell him to tell you who did it." I just wanted to know who did it. I wanted to know what happened, but more importantly, I wanted to know who did it because I knew they was getting ready to come get him, and I knew they was going to lock him up, and man, I was furious.
The bacon special. Yeah. Pure deliciousness. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.